Sorry that your son cannot know how to promote himself. I am sorry that he doesn't know how to talk when the camera is on. I am sorry that you have a bum-ass son. I'm sorry. But hey, he ain't it, man. And you know it. Their plans on becoming undisputed did not work for them like they thought it would. They need to make money. And the best money fight that they will get won't be with Tank. It will be with Teofimo Lopez. I'm ahead of these guys 2-3 steps. You know, so whatever they're trying to do, whatever they're trying to emulate, we've done that. We've did that. We became undisputed. We know how it goes.
All right, Teofimo Lopez is back at it again. Matter of fact, Teo will be fighting, I think, in about 10 days, something like that, December 9th, 10th, on ESPN against Sandor Martinez. Yeah, that's what it is. I was about to say Pedraza, but it got pulled. Pedraza had to drop out for some type of illness or whatever. But anyway, make sure you check that out. But for some reason, he can't keep our boy Devin Haney's name out his mouth. I mean, he's been taking shots at a lot of people, but it always goes back to Devin for some reason. And matter of fact, this is what else he had to say.
Now they're doing a catchweight at 36 for Tank, right? They're going to fight one more time.
Mario Barry's at 142.
Okay, so all this back and forth, eventually these guys are going to have to move up to 140. We're at 140 now, and that's what we do.
We're more comfortable with the bigger guy.
Of course, but the thing is, like, by the time they come to 140 and feel the movement, we're already ahead of the game. I'm speaking game on y'all on top of
Listen,
that. And
I'll be scared.
And the thing is this, how you going to play it? Because you're going to fall into my chess move.
Yeah. But I'll be scared if I don't got a crack and I'm moving up. I'll be scared.
As you can see, Teofimo Sr. and Jr. has had a lot to say on social media. And you hear how Sr. took a jab at Devin and maybe possibly Shakur Stevenson as well, saying, I'll be afraid if I ain't got no crack trying to move up. But to make it worse, they did it this morning as well. So let's see what else they had to say on Twitter. But yeah, Teofimo came out this morning and said, I have $3 billion companies invested in me, 4 if we count Disney, and I still hold the highest ratings for ESPN to this day, 4.3 million viewership. I'm just getting warmed up. I can help you and everyone with you. True game. But you already made your bed. Peace and love, Twitter.com. And I think this was aimed at the HH Diva. If you don't know who that is, that's Franchon Cruz Dezern, the undisputed champion, women's champion at 168. Well, of course, Franchon being Franchon, Big Mama had to fire back. And she stepped out there and said, but you still fumbled the bag, champ. And that's the reality, whether Teofimo wants to admit it or not. You was the one that decided to jump out there with George Kambosos instead of fighting Devin Haney. And you had a couple other opportunities, but Devin Haney was already approved by everybody that had to approve it, including the IBF, because that was supposed to be the problem. Kambosos was his mandatory for the IBF, but the IBF said, hey, we'll let you fight Devin Haney for undisputed, no problem. And Teofimo really put his foot in his mouth because he said, well, I can make more money fighting George Kambosos than I can fighting Devin Haney or any of these other guys if I fight him in Australia. Well, guess what? You didn't fight him in Australia, number one. And number two, that fight didn't make any money. Matter of fact, that seemed to have been the hardest fight of recent times to even make, going through the hands of Triller, then getting passed to the zone after Triller had made like 6 different attempts to make the fight. Then to make it worse, on Franchon's end, she was on the original card for that Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos Jr. Card, because it was supposed to be held as two undisputed fights in the same night. You had a women's undisputed and a men's undisputed. So she was actually on that original card, but it kept getting pushed back. They wound up getting dropped off the card, and thankfully for her, her and Helen Cedar Rose wound up fighting on a more historical card with Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. So it actually worked out for the best for her. But for you, it wound up you taking a loss. But Teofimo responded saying, "Oh, come on, baby girl. It's okay. When God brings Haney to my plate, I can't wait to get you all truly big mad. Stay blessed." And once again, Franchon fired back, saying, "I ain't mad, I'm disciplined. When you a big dog, you going to eat regardless. Be smart, kiddo." Now she's warning him, you better make better moves than what you did before. Because like I said, putting himself in a position to lose well actually he wasn't even undisputed. To lose being, well, we'll say fake undisputed. Taking on an opponent and then taking them lightly and wind up getting smacked up by him. I mean, hey, that definitely wasn't making smart moves. Now at this point, Devin Haney jumps in. He says, "Remember, you chose Cambosa to whip your you know what instead of me. Went a different direction and it almost cost you your life. Gotta make smart choices." Wow. Now, he hit him kind of where it hurt because now they say Teofimo was injured before the fight. He had something wrong with his neck or chest or something like that, which wound up causing him breathing issues and something of that nature. I actually did a video about it. I can't remember exactly what the illness was supposed to be, but they said he could have died. Collapsed lung, basically what it was for the most part. He had a collapsed lung and still fought that way. But I find that extremely hard to believe, especially with the energy that he showed. And you hear people say, well, he looked injured. Not to me. He looked like he fought a dumb fight, in my opinion. I didn't think he looked slow. I didn't think he looked out of breath. I didn't think he looked gassed. Matter of fact, to me, gassed out maybe after the 10th round, when after he gave it his all to knock Cambosa out, and Cambosa sucked it up, got up, and started putting hands on him again. But I thought he looked like he was in good shape. Heck, even after the fight, he was beat up, bruised up, swolled up, and all of that stuff. But he was still sitting there running his mouth. I don't know, that collapsed lung thing or something similar to it is what they were claiming. I didn't see it, but hey, a doctor co-signed it, so it is what it is. But that was kind of a low blow by Devin Haney to bring that up. But he's telling the truth. According to what was put out there, Cambosa, you could argue, almost beat him to death. But after that, Franchon Cruz, she gave her last little bit of advice or criticism or whatnot. But then finally, he also addressed Devin Haney for the last time and said, "And as for real Devin Haney, focus on your up-and-coming match with Vasily Lomachenko, young blood. I got work to do here at the 140 division. I pray you enjoy your 5 minutes of fame." Now, I can't help but find that just a little bit of interesting. Just a little bit of interesting. You know what I'm saying? Very interesting, to be honest with you. And the reason why I say that is because he said this little 5 minutes of fame. Tio, I love you, buddy, but you do realize you didn't have one successful defense of your titles. So really, all I can call you really is a title holder. I really, in my opinion, if you win the belt and lose it, you're a title holder, not a champion. I mean, technically he's a champion, of course. But I'm saying, to me, that's the difference between champions and title holders. Champions reign. Title holders grab the belt and lose. You didn't have one successful defense of your title. Even if we take away the so-called you did or didn't become undisputed. Let's say you became undisputed. Devin still did more than you because not only did he hold a franchise, he held the regular WBC as well. I mean, but let's be honest though. no matter what you say about that green belt, he's officially undisputed, no doubt about it. You can argue against you being undisputed. And even if you couldn't, even if you want to make it equal, you still didn't defend your title successfully. You lost on your first title defense. As Franchon Cruz Dezern said, you dropped the bag, homie. That's fact. You can't change that. You can argue you went to 140 because you got beat up. You can holler that I was struggling. Do you think Devin ain't struggling? Look at the picture right there, him, the night he fought Cambosa. He looked like a scarecrow or a skeleton or something. It's called sacrificing. So I mean, it ain't just you. You ain't the only one struggling to make weight. Get a nutritionist like your boy Regis Progress did. Speaking of Regis, you talking about you got work to do. You might get worked. You're going to have to see Regis, and from what I understand, if he wins this fight, he'll become, against Sandor Martin, he'll become Regis's mandatory. I'd love to see that fight. Love to see it. I would have to lean towards Regis. Only reason because I know that's the weight class Regis is used to. You ain't gonna hit him with nothing he ain't felt before. Power-wise, I don't think you hit no harder than some of these other dudes at 140. And I think you haven't tasted nobody's real power at 140 either. You go find out it really is a different weight class. Now, can he beat Regis? You never know. But me personally, as of right now, until I see something to make me think otherwise, I think Regis Progress would put all kinds of hands on Teofimo Lopez, and I believe he might knock him out. If George Cambosa can beat him up like that, I believe Regis can knock him out. Sorry, that's what I believe. But to say you know Devin's 5 minutes of fame, you literally did the 5 minutes of fame thing. You won and then you lost. Now I ain't gonna front. I started this video this morning. I say about 10:30. Nah, I say about 9:30. But I got caught up all day. Had to run my son around, take my dad a couple places. So I've been scrambling around all day. And it's at this point it's 1:30 in the morning, right? I'm finishing the video up. And I had to double back to Twitter just to see if Devin responded to all this mess Teofimo said at the end. And this is what Devin said. Because now remember, Teofimo, he wished him good luck on this Lomachenko fight. He said, ain't no match yet, might just come up to 140 and F you up. And so, Teo, you talking about you light years ahead and chess moves and this, that, and the third, and you already used to them at 140. Sound like Devin really don't care about all that, and he's willing to join you up there. And real quick before we get out of here, from what I understand, either Devin or Devin's father has been in communication with Teofimo's father, and they talking about fighting anyway. So I'm tired of all this back and forth bickering out of all of these dudes. Start getting in the ring with each other. And I will give Teofimo that he did jump in there with Lomachenko, and Devin, he tried his best to make fights with Lomachenko and Teofimo. Let's make it happen. Forget all the yapping. Start with the scrapping. So hopefully Bob Arum will make it happen, and we'll see them fight at 140. But I hope Devin don't give up his belts to do so. Hold on to them, because this fight you can make it 135 still. And that's pretty much all I got to tell Bustin' Boxes on Fight Doctor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Is T.O. tripping again? Out there running his mouth. He might not be the king of cap. I got to get up the Ryan. but he ain't that far behind. He up there with Rolly. You know what I'm saying? He just doing it a different way. But at the same time, I gotta give Tio his props. He has accomplished a few things. But even him saying, matter of fact, hold on. Even him hollering about resumes, dude. And this ain't no knock. It's factual. You only really have 3 fights that you can really even talk about. And 4 if you count Nakatani. Yeah. If you count Nakatani, then I'll give you 4. But truth be told, who in Nakatani really fought to even make you say Nakatani was that dude? Yeah, he was undefeated at the time, but unproven. You can say 2 prospects were fighting each other. I'll give them that. But besides that, I can't say Nakatani, was upper echelon. And to be honest with you, I can't really say that about Kobe either. But I'll give you that one. So in my opinion, really, he only had 3 tough fights. That should have been tough anyway, because he should have whooped Nakatani. But that's my thoughts on it. You give me yours. This here Bustin' Boxes on Fight Dr. I am out.